So Angel Studios has been relatively incredibly successful, right? Obviously, they helped with The Chosen early on until they split up in the last couple of years. And then obviously they've done massive things like buying Sound of Freedom and being able to distribute that for over $100 million. I'm sure they did several $100 million after it was done globally. I mean, it was a crazy large movie, huge movement. Then we've had things like His Only Son and a bunch of other movies that have come out since then that have done really well. And in fact, on their membership platform, I know they have over 1 million members on there. That's insane. I mean, it's really done well. Now, within the last couple of years, like we mentioned, they have lost The Chosen. The Chosen is no longer part of Angel Studios in any way. They're not connected in any way. In fact, there's an arbitration and a judge ruled that Angel Studios actually broke their contract with The Chosen, and some weird things happened there overall. Basically, they split ways completely. They're no longer at all touching in any way, and Angel Studios cannot say that they are connected to The Chosen in any way. Now, they're in another predicament because they've lost The Chosen, which was by far their biggest project ever, made way more money than Sound of Freedom did over the course of the first 4 seasons. Now, they're about to lose their second biggest project, which is David. And I say about to lose because I don't know what's happening. It could happen, it could not happen, but the David movie is in danger of being taken away from Angel Studios as well, again through legal means. So let's jump into this. Here's one of the articles. There are many that you can look up at the moment, and of course we'll dig into this a little bit more. Animated biblical epic David caught in legal battle over rights. Slingshot, the film's producer, brought a new lawsuit against Angel Studios for allegedly co-opting the feature to advance its own business interests, including its fledgling streaming service. So if you don't know, David is a movie. You can go to like thedavidmovie.com or some different things like that to see where this movie is and what it's doing. But they've been making it for the past 5 or 6 years. It's been one of the biggest things ever. In fact, it passed The Chosen for overall crowdfunding without even being out yet. Right? This is a massive movie. They're projecting it to be one of the highest grossing animated movies of all time. Okay? And so this is a movie that has been anticipated by people for the last 5 or 6 years and has been like built up so much to be this amazing thing. Now, the studio that's actually making the project is called Slingshot. I believe they're based out of South Africa. I can't fully remember, but I think they're based out of South Africa. And they've been working on this thing for a long time, right? But of course, now is basically clashing with Angel because they believe that they have violated their agreement with this project. And so I'm going to talk to you about how this is, okay? So since basically all this success from Angel, they've been clashing with Slingshot, the production company behind David, over its rights as the film's distributor. So Angel is not making this film, but they're distributing the film, similarly to The Chosen, okay? In November, Slingshot terminated its deal with Angel, which responded that it didn't breach the agreement and has been sued in a lawsuit seeking a court order that it no longer retains rights to the movie. Slingshot, I cannot say that word. Slingshot alleged that Angel vastly overstepped its authority by excluding it from decisions related to international distribution, merchandising, and marketing, making it appear as if David is an in-house production. This is extremely true, okay? And again, I am not trying to burn any bridges here, right? I love a lot of the people over at Angel Studios. Okay, I've worked with a bunch of the people over at Angel Studios. A lot of them have been nothing but kind to me. They're super nice. I've never personally been taken advantage of or anything like that with Angel Studios. But what I've heard is a completely different story from a lot of people that have worked with them. And so it's like, what is going on over there? You know, like what is happening? Because obviously there was a breach of contract with The Chosen. Obviously, there's some sketchy things that happen there. And so now we're seeing very similar things that are happening with the David movie. So let's continue to read this and then let's talk about the implications of this, okay? So they made this very much the case that in a lot of their marketing and a lot of their things, Angel Studios would make it look like David was an in-house production, meaning that Slingshot, who is actually creating the product, doesn't get any credit for it. So this is like Angel Studios, like with The Chosen, for example. This is like saying Angel Studios created The Chosen, and they don't ever mention Dallas Jenkins. They don't ever mention 5 and 2 Studios. They don't ever mention, The Chosen company itself. They only say that they created The Chosen. That's basically what it feels like here. Okay. And this is very much true. I saw this a lot in their marketing, where it seems like Angel was making this themselves rather than showing that Slingshot made it overall. And as part of a bid to herd support from shareholders to vote in favor of a purchase by a special purpose acquisition company, better known as SPAC, Angel propped up its fledgling streaming service by placing episodes of a related TV series, Young David, behind a paywall, despite an agreement that the content would be available for free. Wow. That is crazy. That's crazy. I did not know that. Okay, let me pull this up. So if we go to Angel, of course. So there's this series on Angel called Young David. Okay. Let me zoom this out so you guys can see. So this is a series. This is not the movie, but it's based on the movie that they're doing. Okay, so this is called Young David. There's 6 episodes available, but when they first released, at least, I don't know if it's the same case now, but when they first released, what it's saying is that you have to watch, you had to watch it through a paywall. So it's not the case now, because you can watch it for free if you sign up or if you sign in. I'm not signed in right now. But apparently they had it set to where you had to pay for it in order to watch it to begin with, which is crazy. And they were doing this. Okay, so they're accusing them of doing this because they wanted to look better when they were being acquired by this big acquisition company known as SPAC. That's crazy. So Slingshot was told that this would be free, available for free, but it was actually put behind a paywall. Okay. Rather than aid Slingshot in developing the content and help it reach wide audiences, and consistent with its long-standing pattern of breaching its distribution agreements, this is talking about The Chosen for sure, with faith-based producers, Angel instead attempted a hostile takeover. Now, this is Slingshot saying this, okay? I think. This is Slingshot that's saying this here. It's not necessarily the truth. It's what they're accusing. Okay. Stated the complaint. Okay. Why is it doing that? Stated the complaint filed in March 5th in the Utah State Court. So this is just recent. Okay. It was only filed about a month ago. Over the course of the back and forth, Angel has maintained that its deal with Slingshot, which declined to comment, only requires mutual approval for high-level decisions. The company was formed after its predecessor, VidAngel, reorganized in bankruptcy following a $62 million judgment against it for distributing unlicensed conduct. This was their lawsuit with Disney, I believe. And so they had a big lawsuit with Disney that they actually lost. So they filed bankruptcy and then relaunched as Angel Studios. If you remember, it used to be VidAngel. Now it's Angel Studios. Okay. And so you see, during those proceedings, Chief Executive Neil Harmon crowdfunded millions of dollars to produce original content, which includes The Chosen, Tuttle Twins, Dry Bar Comedy. An arbitrator last year awarded the producer of The Chosen, which was The Chosen Incorporated, more than $5 million, finding that Angel breached its licensing agreement with the company by diverting funds meant to spend on the second season of the series towards its own operations. That was not released before either. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't know that either. So The Chosen won $5 million because Angel breached his contract by diverting funds away from The Chosen and towards Angel's operations. That's crazy. And that's not an accusation. That's like what actually happened. That's crazy. In a statement, Harmon said, "We love the David project and we're certain we will get it worked out. We will get this worked out." Man. David is set to hit theaters in November, We'll see about that. According to a log line from Angel, the movie is a joyful animated musical about the life of ancient prophet, poet, and king. After one young shepherd boy is chosen to battle a giant, this chosen one goes on to inspire an entire nation of believers. Angel approached Slingshot in 2021 about securing distribution rights to David, which required an additional $42 million to complete, the lawsuit said. The two sides quickly reached a deal, which said that Slingshot retains the flexibility to drive commercial opportunities without restriction. Okay, Slingshot retains the flexibility to drive commercial opportunities without restriction. Okay, and required Angel to notify its partner of any and all marketing, distribution, and or network opportunities. And an exclusive license, according to the complaint, it allegedly provided both sides termination rights. Around this time, Slingshot partnered with another company to create the animated series Young David with the aim of promoting the film on which it's based. It took issue with Angel unilaterally deciding to place 2 episodes of the show behind a paywall, limiting the show's viewership. It underperformed relative to expectations, according to the complaint. Wow, okay. As time went on, it became clear that Angel's true objective was to use the content to its own benefits without regard to Slingshot, wrote Eric Christensen, a lawyer for Slingshot in the lawsuit. At the same time, it was refusing to attribute the content to Slingshot. Okay, so they're basically saying, like, Angel made this. We made this. Angel selfishly used the content to advertise its own streaming platform and subscription service rather than the content itself, in direct contravention of the contractual obligation to maximize potential revenue. Interesting. Partnership worsened in... Man, holy moly. Why does it do that? The partnership worsened in 2024 when it learned that it was cut out of social media partnerships for the series. Wow. It reminded Angel to share such deals to ensure that they aligned with its brand, to which the Harmon-led company replied that vendors are proprietary. The lawsuit claimed Angel's alleged refusal to inform Slingshot of third-party agreements extended to merchandising deals under its proposition that approval rights are limited to input and how we execute those rights. Yikes, man. Okay, so, man, you guys can read the rest of this on your own. So basically, Slingshot, they terminated this deal, this distribution right deal, and then in turn, Angel is suing them. That's crazy. Okay, what are my thoughts about this? We're not supposed to be suing each other. Like, what is happening here? Now, clearly, me and the how can I say this in the most diplomatic way possible? I love a lot of people over at Angel. I've said that already. Clearly, me and the founders of Angel have clearly very different ideas of what is scriptural and what is biblical. We can talk about that all day. However, where there is smoke, there is fire. Obviously, I'm not a judge. I'm not a jury in this trial. I'm not saying that this is all true and that Angel did this. But to be 100% with you, I wouldn't be surprised. And that saddens me. Like, I think a company like Angel Studios could do such great things. And for them to have the stuff that they do right now, just like, there has to be something done, right? There has to be a public statement that's made. There has to be some sort of apology. There has to be some sort of something that like lets this go. Like, I know you're a business and you're like scared that you might lose this movie or whatever, but is it really worth losing your company just for this movie? Like, there has to be some sort of checks and balances. Like, if it's, man, that's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Here's the thing. It makes me sad because like there are so many productions, like Testament, for example, right? Like, I worry about them. Like, I'm really looking forward to Testament season 1. I'm really looking forward to the future of that project and what Paul Sørstad can do. Cause I've met Paul Sørstad, right? Like, I've talked to him several times. I really enjoy the future of what that project looks like. But because it's with Angel, it makes me worry now. it makes me worry about every single project that is being done through Angel. Like, I just have questions about it now, you know? I have questions like I hate to even ask this, but like, should I even promote Angel to my audience? You know? Like, should I be telling them to go sign up for Angel in order to watch Testament? I don't know. Like, I really want that show to succeed. I really want Paul to succeed. I just don't know. I don't know. I definitely have a lot of questions about this. I would love for there to be some clarity as to like, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see with the lawsuit what happens here, right? Who wins and who loses and what goes on there. It's just crazy to me, man. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm not here to call a verdict. I'm just here to share what's happening and share my thoughts on it overall. So anyway, have a great one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.